The good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Fields on first down. He rifles one that's Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against an interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. Now a second down and 6. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. This a 27-yard attempt here. Patterson's kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and a lot of times when I scout a guy, I have a little section about how does he handle adversity. And in this case, a big check mark. He may have thrown the first interception, but I don't think he's going to throw very many more.
Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts him right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. The Bears at 4-7 now in the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
Fields. Over the middle, complete. It's Lane. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Throw left side, complete. That's Lane. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
And these two hooked up on a nice gain the play before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with 1st and goal.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Parrish. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's it. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players, knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season, and in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing, but clearly there's some growing still to do.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Off play action. Fields rolling to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll go Madison up the middle. And that play going absolutely... belted before he could get out of the backfield. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Off the play fake. Parrish. Touchdown! Justin Jefferson. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have regained the lead. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up, because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Rolling to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. From the 50, here's Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Down inside the 40-yard line. Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And they'll get him down right about the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Now it's Fields.
That is caught at the 7. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Santos with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they're going to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Parrish. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Parrish. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Ronald Darby.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
A final shot before the break. Fields.
And he fires one incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. This one fielded at the 5. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the... Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And it's now 17-14.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
From the gun, here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
It'll be a gain of 5. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. 3rd down, turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Out of the gun, Fields.
And it's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Boy, a rough time for a turnover there. They give it away on their first possession of this second half.
And what makes it worse, Brandon, is that they've already given away the lead in this quarter on the touchdown drive a minute ago. Now they run the risk of really falling behind unless their defense can bail them out a little bit. They'll be cheering for them hard from the sidelines.
And some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 34 yards there at a 1st down.
I can't help but laugh. And the only reason is anytime the backup breaks a big one like that, he's going to be hard to deal with in film, wanting to know why he's not getting starters carries.
That's what he's thinking. Great carry there. Back to the ground. This time Cook. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Parrish. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Operating from the gun. Parrish. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 16. Cook up the gut. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, a 16-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. One play action. Fields. Go for a gain of 7. And 3rd and 1 now.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. Got an open man, the tight end. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. He's going to have the first down and more than that. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Inside the 10, and they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
A huge play there for Chicago.
So that one just a little touch pass, but it paid off quite handsomely.
Yeah, and let's face it, the quarterback loves it because it pads his stats as a completed pass for nice yardage downfield. But I like the way they get the receiver in motion. It's almost like he's running a route before he gets the football because he's got a full head of steam when the ball is popped in his direction.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throws right side, and that's complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Zach Cunningham with a pick.
And the Bears are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. On second and very short, Fields. And again, back to Kmet.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
Forced out to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception.
picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook,
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead is now 24.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Zadarius Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Running for it, Montgomery. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Ross Blacklock on the tackle.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And my goodness, another interception.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Decent sets to throw it.
And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And he's going to fall on this one himself. So a bit of a weird inning for sure, but they will indeed come up short as this game is over.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Vikings, the win form is number 6 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.